All right, y'all, it's about time. We're going to be updating my top 10 LRs tier list for, Dokkan Fest, Carnival LRs, Yellow Coin LRs, EZA LRs, everything that fits into there. And I think things have been changed quite a bit. Now, one thing I do want to point out before we even hop into anything here, we're getting like a boss rush kind of stage for the Divine Wrath Immortal Will event tonight. These could very well be some of the harder stages in the game, but I also do think that as longer content, we kind of have representation of very hard long content right now. So I actually don't think too much will potentially change on this list. I think, definitely could shake things up 100%. But we'll see how things turn out here. Again, this tier list is more so about my assessment of the characters in comparison to other units around them. But it is very important to consider that there is a new hardest stage out right now, currently the Global Campaign Special Battle 2025. This fight did actually give us this Goku Black and Zamasu fight, which is absolutely insane. And again, we do know that boss rush stage is coming out, so I think that if there is any major mega changes next week, we probably will get like the EZAs for Fusion Zamasu and Vegeta and Trunks. I'll probably do another TUR, or not TUR, an LR tier list update by the time they come out, and we'll kind of consider those changes. Again, we're just gonna go ahead and get this video out here today, because I think it also will be interesting to get different snapshots of different periods of the celebration, right? Where right now we're really focused on this Goku Black and Zamasu kind of stage here, and the Blue Goku and Vegeta stage are also, I would argue, a little difficult too, right? This Blue Goku, when he has a full buff, he hits very hard. This Vegeta can stun you. I mean, this is not an easy stage either. It's definitely not on the level of the Goku Black and Zamasu stage, but you could have troubles with both of these stages. We'll, of course, also be considering the red zones. I think the longer red zones, Super Saiyan Blue Goku fight could also trip up some teams. Then Festival Battles kind of has a bonus brownie points, but not really. So, again, I feel pretty good about this list. And I think that, this list will stay largely consistent even as we get more content. But who knows? At the end of the day, maybe they'll shake things up in a very interesting way by the end of the celebration here. So, we're going to start off with my honorable mention character. And that is actually going to be the physical Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla and Kale. I don't know why everything's so zoomed in here. Oh my goodness. This character is actually quite good right now. I think there's a couple of things to go ahead and talk about them. But first and foremost, guaranteed dodges the first attack the first time that they receive one. So there's a couple of instances where I think this could be really good. I actually don't have this event brought up, my bad, but the Battle Hardened Formidable Foe stages, this can actually be really good in the most difficult short content stages that isn't the Goku Black and Zamasu fight. If we go ahead and take a look at Movie Edition 4 and Movie Edition 5, AoE Broly, AoE Cell Max, you know what Caulifla does? Guaranteed dodge it because of this ability right here. So that's already just a very nice ability to have there. Now Caulifla also does build up quite a bit of dodge after she gets her super attacks, to the chance where she can get up to 70% post attacking, and she also will have this additional damage reduction 60% for the first attacks she receives. So again, she'll be looking pretty good as like a slot 2 slot 3 character, which I would say is important, like this type of design for certain characters, because of the fact that there is this character's AoE. The Goku Black's AoE is so devastating to a lot of characters. I mean, the first one hits for 1.2 million, actually kind of crazy, right? And once this Goku Black has this up, he starts getting built up. This second AoE still does pretty devastating damage, so you really need to be careful with this Goku Black and that AoE that he's potentially able to do. And especially we have a Zamasu that could lock you into unfortunate circumstances. This Count Caulifla, if necessary, they can act a little bit in slot 1. Definitely not the best ever, but she has a little bit of juice with her, especially in this stage where there's not too many attacks going on, 6 and 4. Like I've had multiple turns where, there's only like 4 or 5 attacks in the front slot, and she has type advantage against this guy. So like there is like she's gonna do better than a lot of other characters. Now, you're not ever gonna see Kale, unfortunately. Super Saiyan 2 Kale is just not a character you're gonna see in that fight turn 6. Maybe at the very end, you could see Super Saiyan 2 Kale, and she could do a lot of damage to that Goku Black to kind of finish the fight off, right? Super Saiyan 2 Kale is pretty good. She's able to really do some good things. I would say, though, like, Caulifla does have all the Rainbow Orb, or not the Rainbow Orb changing, the Orb changing to physical. If you put Kale in slot 1, I think that if Goku Black supers her, she would die. Because she's like a 5 mil defense with guard, right? Which is very strong, but Goku Black fully built up is hitting like really hard. Like I've seen calcs where, if he has Zamasu present built up, bro hits for like 30 mil almost. So, Kale's not taking that, right? Maybe you could just stay as Caulifla and get the guaranteed dodge. Which, by the time the Goku Black's hitting that hard, having a guaranteed dodge character in slot 1, that's pretty good. And I think there are situations where you can get to turn 6, turn 7 in that fight pretty often. So, I mean, that could be a little fail safe for you with this Caulifla and Kale. Again, along with that, Kale is able to hold her own more than well enough in the final stages of these events right here. Even though there's dodge disable, by the time you are able to by the time you're facing those dodge disable phases, you have Kale to kind of back you up, and then she'll be able to tank all these super attacks basically. So, I mean, this character is very viable in the endgame content. You could argue this character could also be 10 on the list, but I actually am going to go ahead and put number 10 slightly ahead of her just for a few specific... Well, actually, I don't know what you guys... I have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks here, but I might actually switch this around. Yeah, I think I will from looking at this. And the only reason why is because Gotenks in longer fights, I don't think is as effective as Kale and Caulifla in longer fights. I'm going to switch this up last second. Now, I had Gotenks here because even though Gotenks has type disadvantage against this fight, I found even the 55% is still quite runnable here. The thing about Gotenks is he will always have 99% damage reduction within the first few turns against their super attacks. If Gotenks would ever get supered by them, he's taking double-digit damage every single time. And he's going to dish out some damage back too. One disadvantage from that is that could actually build up Goku Black's attack a little and kind of cause some more harm to you than damage depending on the situation. And I have found it a little annoying that this is a 5-turn restriction in that event, because again, I've seen turns where we get to turn 6, turn 7. I mean, one of the reasons why I feel like I lost was because I was really stressing out over this guy not having sword reduction. And I think that I did misplay there, of course, at the end of the day. I think we could have still won even with Gotenks though. But I mean, losing this really does suck because he took a 700k AoE with the 22% extra reduction. That would help a lot, right? So that is something to go ahead and keep in mind. But yeah, no, I think other than that, this guy is able to do some really strong damage. This character is just a very strong character overall. I feel like even in long content, some of these teams may move fast enough that this Gotenks is able to keep his passive out throughout most of the event. And then we could also save this active skill by the end of the event, giving him an extra 77% defense. And he always has the 50% chance of 777% defense here, which basically would make him immortal against almost any supers, right? So this guy's quite good. I think also he's Rainbow Orb changing, right? He's just providing some extra value to the team in that way. Yeah, I'm thinking though, like, again, another thing is in Battle Hardened Foes, these AoE attacks are blast supers, right? This is a blast super. I think what Zomax is a blast super too, right? Yeah. So both of these are blast super attacks, and he's tech anyway, so he's also really good in these fights. Like Gotenks is like a fair competitor. I think it really comes down to typing for me at the end of the day, though, and the fact that I think Kale is going to be a more viable option for longer fights. So, yeah, I think it's pretty close between those two. Gotenks has aged very well. I think they designed this guy really, really good. So, yeah, I think honorable mention Gotenks, Super Saiyan 2, Caulifla, and Kale at 10 make more sense to me. So, our number 9 spot is a Beast Gohan. Now, this guy has gained quite a lot of value, I think, from this fight. You know, I've seen this guy like live like a fully built up Goku Black Super. Of course, that is also with his target mechanic active, but I mean, that's also protecting the entire rotation from a fully built up Goku Black, which is huge, right? Especially if you're, again, running like a character like Gotenks or a character that may need to be protected a little more. Beast Gohan has your back there. And again, this guy is able to get up to the 80% damage reduction rate after he receives 8 attacks, which definitely will take some time. But Goku Black and Zamasu don't hit hard enough to where this guy is going to be instantly like one shot early on. I think you kind of have to be a little careful with him, is what I would argue. But he's still able to hold his own very well. Which is, again, a really, really nice thing to see for a character that is, you know, I mean, he's a year and a half old at this point. I mean, 11th anniversary is in like 6 months. So this guy's a year and a half old. Isn't that crazy? That is really insane. And he's still like top 10 LRs right here. That just shows you how well this guy's design was. I mean, he came out with year 9 Gogeta Blue, DBS Broly, and Gammas. Like, this guy's design just ages so well. So again, not only is he really good there, I think he's really good in the battle hardened formidable foes fights. Red zones, I think this guy can fall off a little bit, but I feel like it's not a crazy mega fall off. He still will be just fine. But I think his value in like this hardest fight and these two fights as well do mean a lot to me. And the fact that he has that team protector ability, I could see someone's argument for like being like, oh, I actually like them better with Beast Gohan. Like, I could see it. But I'm gonna personally have Beast Gohan above. I also think that this guy, you know, on this turn, like it's just really this turn providing that protection is just so huge, and he's very consistent with what he's doing as well. I do like this character quite a bit. So he's able to cook. So W Beast Gohan, I think they did a fantastic job with this guy. So at number 9 spot he is. Next we have Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku. I will go ahead and put him at our number 8 spot right here. Now this guy did move down a bit. I think, you know, again, not really including a battle, or not battle hardened foes, festival battles as much, maybe is a reason. But I think that this guy is still extremely valuable in the fact that he has this great ape transformation, because against this fight, you know, he could be a little troublesome with that AoE. If he doesn't dodge with the 70% chance, he's going to take a lot of damage. And even after attacking, you know, that Goku Black normals could hurt him quite a bit. But I don't find it uncommon to get under 70% HP. What happens is you'll basically cancel all these effects, right? Zamasu is alive and he's locking you. Well, you could just move your rotations around and get completely around the locking. You could put your slot 1 character back in slot 1, like maybe the LR Super Saiyan 4s. You see Goku Black's AoE, he's gonna do the AoE during the Grid Ape phase, so then he's not gonna be doing it anymore during the rest of the phase either. Or I say phase, but the rest of the turn. I don't think I've ever gone a turn where these guys don't super. Like, I feel like it's extremely rare that I've seen these guys not super attack. And with that in mind, he'll also cancel those super attacks for the turns. Cancels Zamasu's heal. There's a lot of things that Super Saiyan 4 Goku's Great Ape can actually give you here. Along with that, Super Saiyan 4 Goku does provide you a heal as well. If you do fall below a certain HP threshold, he's able to give you the actual damage reduction support. Now, what you're going to run into as an issue is if you have him, you're going to have to like basically float him off instantly and hope you kill before he comes back around. Or you got to hope that the AoE is after he attacks, because I mean, he's going to have just 200% start of turn against that AoE with just guarded 10% reduction. You know what this guy is? Dead. He is not looking too hot there. But I think there is definitely ways around that if you're running him on the year 10 team, which is like probably one of the teams you're going to run. You could still run Tech Vegito in this fight. This guy could be at that point potentially team protected. Maybe you have Beast Gohan on the team. Like, there's options. He's still very valuable, not only in this hardest fight, but again, I think we all know how good he is in red zones. I think we all know how good he is as well in Battle Hardened Foes. It's basically a very similar strat in Battle Hardened Foes with his Grade Ape transformation, but I think it's very easy to actually chain his Grade Ape transformation in a way that'll benefit you. So you could just, again, cancel the AoEs and things like that, just do some mega good damage. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is still very good, and I do think that, we know GT's part 2, so I think this guy will get a lot of extra help and partners to potentially push him even above what his current level is, so that's very cool. But I guess he did move down a little bit in the list just because of this new event. I think that there's characters that will shine a little bit more than he is. We have the Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel and Super Saiyan Goku Angel card at... Actually, I meant to have Tien here. I almost had Tien above this guy, actually. I think that's why. And I guess you can see, again, Gogeta's next. Again, we'll talk about him. But Tien's value is crazy. I put him above Super Saiyan 4 Goku because of this new event. It's funny. This phase, these are both Kamehameha enemies. These are also both Kamehameha enemies. Again, I'm not talking too much about these two stages, but a lot of the points I made can be made for a lot of these like other characters here, of course. I think Kel Khalifa potentially could struggle a little more in that phase because they're type disadvantage, but either way, Tien guaranteed nullifies and counters their supers, whilst being a slot 1 tank character, potentially doing tons of damage, supporting for 2 turns, debuffing, right? Both on 8 key and 12 key, he debuffs, which, again, Goku Black is debuffable. So when you start attacking Goku Black, you're going to be able to offset a little bit of the damage he does because Tien's debuffing him. That's very good, right? Tien is doing so much, honestly. And even in long content, he's able to stack up this attack, man. And he's going to do just a huge, just mega nuke on the enemy. You can also use his active skill, like, whenever you want against the new fights, because they're all Kamehameha enemies. So, you're like, hey, I'm going to just pop this active turn 1. Probably shouldn't. You probably will pop this active, I think, like, turn 3, turn 4. I would say that a good chance to use this active is a turn that you know you're going to kill Zamasu. This wipes Zamasu out with this active skill, and that'll get rid of the locking for the next turn. I think Tien, again, this active skill characters in general could be really good for that, because if you don't kill in a turn, Zamasu could potentially just heal at the start of the next turn, and again, it's just gonna suck, right? If Zamasu's barely alive, then he heals again. It's just annoying. So that's why, like, an active skill like Tien's, I think it's just nice to have. But yeah, no, this guy still could just straight up dodge all the supers. I'm pretty sure, like, again, I find Zamasu, like, commonly he just will super you instantly, or Goku Black. I think that can happen. Well, this boy will have the damage reduction. Or, again, you could use the active skill in the second slot, and then you could put this guy in slot 1, and then he just becomes super tanky, right? He also have the 70% chance to dodge when you put him in slot 1 there. So, again, Tien's really, really good for this new fight, guys. Like, really, really good for this new fight here. And again, we know how good he is in the red zones. He's extremely tanky here. he has no issues in these red zone stages. He just does so much damage to where he just like the active skill just nukes some of these bosses. It's really crazy. Battle Hardened Foes, I mean, he is on Tao's team, so you know, yeah, I mean, Tao does a lot of some of the heavy lifting there, but Tien also does just fine in this fight. So really good LR. I think they did crazy with Tien to the fact that I'm putting him over Super Saiyan 4 Goku right now. But I just think like his value in these new short fights is it cannot be overlooked. It can't be overlooked at all, especially because Tien is just him. Super Saiyan 4 Goku does have to like again get under a certain HP threshold, transform, things like that. Tien's just always gonna be doing what he does, right? Now it is weird based on all those arguments that would have the year 10 fusions under him, and it's also weird that, you know, they're not even 1 and 2 anymore in this tier list here, which is probably a big shift for a lot of people. Again, I do think that them being the best characters in these, like, honestly, like the Vegito active turn, he's just the best character in these two phases, like in these red zones specifically. Battle Hardened Foes though, not the best. The Samasu Goku Black fight, not the best. Now Vegito actually still works decently well here. Again, the idea here is that you actually will just kill Vegeta first. I think that's what you want to do. Vegeta has way less HP. Vegeta stuns you, and Goku's gonna have this attack up anyways. Like, you're not gonna kill Goku in time to where you won't feel this, right? But because there's no locking or sealing or anything like that, there's only the stunning. Like, once you get rid of this Tech Super Vegito, bro is just like him. He's like, yep, we're cooking here. Same with Egeo Super Gogeta. They're still very cooking here. I almost got an item run with Vegito and Gogeta on the team. I've ran, you know, Super Gogeta in here, and he just like didn't get stunned by this Vegeta either. The thing about Gogeta here is that he's just so tanky that he's not really gonna have an issue. And honestly, the Goku Black AoEs don't do these guys as bad as you would think, as long as they're in slot 2 or slot 3, obviously, which is what they want to be in, because you have some supports, or let's say the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, if he's able to super attack first, that's also helpful. But I mean, like, Vegeta has the guard 600k defense, like he's not taking like 800k damage, he's still taking like, you know, 100 200k damage. This Goku for me is taking like I would say a 200k realm of damage still, which for tech is still pretty good. Post super attack, these guys, you know, this guy could either super attacks decently well. This guy can also do the same. There's turns where I've even seen him eat the Rose super attack for double digits. There's also turns where I've seen him eat it for like 300k, 400k. So it's situational depending on how many additionals he gets, if Blue Goku is able to super first, etc, etc. But these two actually could still work pretty well in the new fight. You just will need a little bit of luck on them. I think maybe running both of them could lead you into issues, just because, you know, if you get them on the same rotation, or, you know, you float this Goku around, and then like you get into a situation where, like, let's say your first rotation was Blue Goku plus the Vegeta, and then the next turn you get Tech Super Saiyan Goku floated onto here, then it's Tech Super Saiyan Goku, the Blue Goku, and then Vegeta. That could happen, like if this Goku was in slot 3, I guess, for example, would be a better example. And then it's like, well, you know, you're kind of stuck if like the Blue Goku would get locked in slot 2, which is very possible. Like, you could run into issues there, but you could definitely get a win with these two on the team still. And again, they're so good everywhere else that I do think that they're still up here in this top 5 range, and I would still put them above Tien overall in what they're doing. And if you also do consider Festival a little, I think that these guys are almost essential for Festival. You could get a Festival run without them, I'm thinking, but I mean, can you, dude? They're so essential for that Festival battle. I think that them being as good as they are in there is also gonna be important. I know a lot of people won't like to hear that, but that just shows, again, in long fights they're gonna be very valuable. So That's why I still will have them up here. Plus, their leader skills are insanely good. It's not really the biggest consideration there, but yeah, no. Again, the only fight that they could really struggle in right now is this one, and I think certain battle hardened foes stages, but it's not like, yeah, it's really just this fight, and even then, like, once you get the fusions out, they should be good for the most part. Now, I did make a misplay in my video earlier today where Tech Vegito did die, but that was pretty much my fault. I could have gotten the win there. I just kind of messed up myself, so don't bring up that point. I know someone in the comment section might bring that up, but yeah, I do like these guys at 5 and 6 here, which is, again, crazy because they're like 1 and 2 for me previously. So number 4 and 3 is actually the Super Saiyan Gods and Super Saiyan 4. So I had the Super Saiyan Gods at 4 just because it's really that counter mechanic. This Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's counter is so huge. I've run into issues where, like in the Zamasu Goku Black fight, these guys not having prepared for battle really hurt me in terms of ki. But man, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's counter is so good there. Now, again, not only even in just this fight, but this fight, right? So huge. And, you know, in festival battles is also very important. This guy is arguably the most well-rounded character. Like, I would say you could argue these two are the most well-rounded characters in the game right now. These two are as good as they are in short events as long events. The biggest issue with them is turn 3. But I think, you know, there's a lot of situations where they end up being on the second rotation or even in slot 7. If you got them, even in the first rotation, if you got them there, it's not like guaranteed they're dead unless they get hit with a crazy super attack, which I think, you know, like Zamasu hits them with a super attack. They could potentially take a lot of damage, if not just die. But it's not a common thing that's happened to me. Again, I've done a good amount of runs with like the year kind of 10 team. So like with, well, I guess specifically like the Blue Goku team, I've done a really good amount of runs here with these guys. So yeah, I'm liking these two above the year 10s in this current situation, just because of these short fights. Like specifically this being the hardest fight has me put them above. I mean, you could always have made a little bit of an argument for like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I think that God, like, I think that this character is probably like, because everyone talks about Super Gogeta, Super Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Not a lot of people talk about the gods, I think, in that realm, but they are in that realm, man. They have the huge chance to dodge. They also have the action break. Their active skill does crazy damage. They also have the 70% reduction plus guard on that first turn. They could potentially get a guaranteed dodge turn if HP is 50% or less when they receive an attack. Like, there's a lot that these guys do. They could do some very good burst damage. Like, I would say their damage potential is a lot higher than even Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's damage potential in this short fight. And another big thing is that they got a new really good partner that shares 6 links with them. Their damage could be very explosive in this new battle. I like them quite a bit when it comes to these two new fights here. But in general, like, they're good across the game. Like, these two, the year 70 EZAs, are, again, the most balanced good characters across the entire game. So yeah, very good designs. I mean, you could even use, I think, these two as your leader, so pretty nice. Now, at this point, it's probably obvious. Number 2 is actually Goku Black plus Zamasu. And I think you could very easily guess number 1 from here. Tech Broly, just kidding. It is the Blue Goku and Vegeta at number 1. So we'll talk about Goku Black Zamasu first. This character is just kind of dumb. Like, they're unkillable in 9 out of 10 situations. I would say you could make the argument for like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta probably above. If you're like really like, oh yeah, festival, you know, this guy's stacking in festival. Like, this character is not a festival character. I think Blue Goku could even run a festival. This is not a festival character, but I think that their power is just way too strong everywhere else. Like, this guy doesn't have like the turn 3 issue that this guy has. This guy doesn't have the turn 1 issue that these guys could have against AoEs. This guy is supporting and giving super effective there. He's extremely tanky, man. He's providing this multi-turn active skill support there. The active skills, these actives do more damage than these two. They do. They do more damage. Their stats are just higher. Like, one thing that people might not notice about these guys is that they don't have a lot of multiplicative stats. They just stack a lot, right? Their stacking is so huge. This is the only multiplicative attack that they get. They get 400% start of turn and then 50% when attacking. That's because they have so much attack stacking. That's where their active skills hit so hard. These guys' active skill hit harder. Because, what? They have 200% when attacking here. Plus, like, big bad bosses. And again, they're still also not greatly stacking attack as much, but they're greatly stacking attack by quite a bit. And then the amount of support that's on this team for super bosses is actually crazy. You would think super bosses is not a good team, but they released the clones. Dude, the clones are insane. Like, their AGO clone is really good. Tech clone's really good in this new fight. Unironically, because Goku Black could be attack debuffed. I talked about this earlier with Tien. This is attack debuff. Guess what? He could also attack debuff. This guy. He lowers attack. Zamasu is also really stupid. Zamasu just does crazy damage. If you're able to see that the super attack is not slot 1, I've had 1 or 2 turns where, like, if there's like 1 attack in slot 1, I just put Zamasu there. He falls under 60% HP. Then he gets 700% attack and defense when attacking. Like, my 55% Zamasu is like, with like 1 attack stack from Goku Black, bro's hitting like 100 mil attack stats into like an 80 mil additional super guaranteed. And then post super attack, he's at like 8 mil defense. Because he keeps big bad bosses. Really, really huge. But then he not only heals 20% HP in the 18 key, 6% of the damage that he recovers while it's guaranteed critting. So he just full heals you back. Like, you're low at HP with Zamasu. Oh, no, you're not anymore. And he also does give extreme class allies to Future Saga 10% reduction once he attacks. So again, that could be super helpful for physical Goku Black. Even the STR clone Goku Black only has 20% reduction. Like, he gets pretty decent defenses. The Int Goku Black clone, right? You know, he has no damage reduction. This could also be helpful to him. That Goku Black clone has 40%. That pushes him up to 50%. Even like this AGL Rose Super ZA, he's not technically out yet, but like, you have this guy slot 3. He gets up to 70% reduction. Now it's 80% that you can get up to. The Zamasu could be very, very useful for a lot of these floating characters if you are actually bringing them out. The only thing about Zamasu is that I feel like, again, things will get better when we get potentially another slot 1. I'm really hoping that Int Fusion Zamasu, where is this boy, becomes a slot 1 character on this team. He is a character that is designed to receive a lot of attacks. He has this counter for the unarmed super attacks. He wants to receive 5 or more attacks basically at every turn. It feels like he wants to receive 25 attacks for key. He gets damage reduction built up within the turn. This is like Blue Evolution, right? This is like Graded Vegeta a little bit. I hope he gets like a Graded Vegeta type EZA, where again, he's traditionally was a slot 2 character. Then they changed his design to make up a slot 1. That's what this guy ideally is. And then what happens is, because the thing about this unit is that you basically stay as Rose 99% of the time, like 9 out of 10 times, because this team doesn't have a slot 1. I think that's the one weakness. The team, that's why I have this guy above, by the way, because as strong as this guy is compared to the rest of the game, I would argue, it's just that team is still lacking a little. Even though the free-to-play units are really good, you're not able to really take advantage of Zamasu. Zamasu's arguably better than Goku Black. It's just that we don't have another slot 1 option. So technically that makes Goku Black better, but Zamasu, if you're able to run a slot 1, like, you would melt through so many of these bosses. It would be disgusting. It would be very, very gross, dude. But yeah, again, this nukes the fusion Zamasu active. I should also bring it out. This does insane damage, especially if you're under 60% HP. This is crazy. And then, like, Zamasu, I've seen Rainbow Zamasus hit like 250 mil attack sets, unironically. And then he has the additional with guaranteed crits. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. This character does way too much damage. But again, what I was saying is, you could have like this Goku Black plus like Agio Rose. Then you could have Infusion Zamasu slot 1 plus STR Zamasu, the tag side of him. Then you could float at like STR, like not STR. You can float like the different clone Goku Black, so like physical clone, int clone, AGO clone. You know, you could even probably get it with like, you know, like Broly trio, physical Rose. Like there's options you could do. But man, this guy is pretty cracked. I mean, this is one of the true characters that I feel truly safe with in a new fight. I mean, the video should be out already at this point, but I took the clones into here. This guy was a huge help, but like you could clear this fight almost with the clones. Like if you use like a Ghost Ushers or Whis, like you could very easily kill with the clones. I think the clones could get a no item run. You just need the right RNG. But the clones could very easily get a no item run here. And again, a huge part is because of how powerful this guy is. Like you could just see the amount of damage that he does. He just melts Zamasu compared to like any other character. I feel like this guy just like did the significantly most damage I've seen to Zamasu's health bar. Like this guy's crazy. But at the end of the day, I think this guy's better. There's a couple reasons why. Firstly, super class. This guy's on more setups. Secondly, defensive support here. Like it is just kind of sad. Like, you know, this is cool. 60% attack, but I mean, I think the reason why he doesn't have defense here is obviously like he's providing 80% support to Goku Black characters, right? But this is unconditional, man. Like this, you could give this to your 10 Super Vegito. You can give this to Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. You can give this to, yeah, you can give it to Rose, dude. Like, this super attack effect is very stupid ability to give this guy, considering how good he is slot 1. 80% dodge slot 1, 70% damage slot 1 for free. I think that before he attacks, he actually will take quite a bit of damage potentially from a lot of these supers. But like once he gets even these 30% raises here, and he could also even debuff like the Goku Black, he's good to go against supers. I mean, even pre-attacking, like he is still like able to eat a lot of super attacks. Like I've seen him pre-super, he lived the Zamasu Goku Black super. He took 500k though, but you know, he still lived. But post super, like he again will get, where is it? There's 30% defense, actually is more than you would think. But yeah, and you may be thinking, oh, you know, he is a dodge based character though, you know, with the 80% dodge. And if he's not dodging, he'll still take a bit of damage from some of these hard hitting supers. That's true. But you also have this active skill that makes him able to dodge these attacks whilst giving up buffs and then doing a gajillion damage to the enemy at the same time. Like this is a very good active skill, the Batara counterattack. But him being able to dodge in those phases now, like he just has a direct counter. He's like, no, actually, no, you can't cancel my dodge. Screw you, you suck. Blue Vegeta side of the card, I think again, it's kind of like the Zamasu side, where I don't really get too many opportunities that I would want to use them because of how good this guy is as a slot 1. But I think compared to Zamasu, you're able to use Blue Vegeta much more often because, I mean, this team has way more slot 1 options. You know, that's just what it is. Once you get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta out, the Super Saiyan Blue transformation for the gods, Super Vegito, Super Gogeta, like, you can get this guy out, place him in slot 3. He will provide support, which is cool. I feel like the support might not be too impactful, honestly. But he gets guard, which is really stupid. I've also seen, like, my free dupe one, to be fair, this turn had Angel Super Gogeta's active. But put this guy in slot 3, he did 100 mil plus attack stat, and then he did like 2 extra supers for like 80 mil. And he's guaranteed critting in slot 3. Because he just does so much damage here. Because this is actually calculated when attacking. So as the third attacker, he gets 400% attack when attacking. And he will always get 400% defense when attacking. So we'll see if this like Trunks ability, like Vegeta Trunks EZA, I assume will be next week or something like that. This could potentially be more useful, but I mean, yeah, no. And this guy still has high chance to dodge. 40% reduction. He's able to tank a lot of these supers. I mean, with his active skill up, with the guard, this guy's able to live normals in the like at the end of festival battles. But then like keep in mind the entire time you have Goku stacking attack. So by the end of the fight, Blue Vegeta's active will just nuke the enemy, and then he'll just finish the enemy off. Like he like this guy will do actually stupid damage to these bosses at the end. This guy's great, dude. The Blue Vegeta is, I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for, because the idea is that he's a battle finisher. He finishes the fight for you, right? Where it's like, okay, this is the time of the fight where I have other characters that are built up and can be slot 1 now. Blue Goku, we can kind of switch over to Vegeta, and we're gonna finish the fight this turn. That's kind of what this Blue Vegeta's design is. And again, you can still use them outside of those turns, even if you just want to finish a specific phase. But I mean, this guy does insane damage. I think I like the design for this character a little more than this character, but I would say this character is probably the better one if we get another slot 1 and super bosses. But you know, that's asking for a lot. At the end of the day, it's still super bosses, man. So I think this character being super class, like these two feel like pretty strongly up here, like across the entire game. Like I think the only event I could see struggling potentially is the Super Saiyan Blue Goku fight, but like for this guy, because like turn 1 he can't use the active skill to dodge, but it's not like a big deal. Like slot 2 he'll still be fine, and then again you have like the LR Gods or the Super Saiyan 4 is gonna hold off. And then eventually he can get the active skill dodge anyway, so yeah. Yeah, so again, this is what I'm thinking for top 10 LRs. I think again, things could very easily change. I did talk about it, but we have the new boss rush like kind of stages. Basically think of like the year 7 Dragon Ball Super Broly boss rush, like the movie boss's Red Zone. Basically that for this event. It'll be interesting to see how difficult it is, and it does want you to run full Future Saga, so will be fun to see. But let me know what you guys are thinking. I think this Blue Goku is the best unit in the game right now, but we'll see what happens by the end of Celebration. Thank y'all for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.